This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Honoring America's true heroes at Christmas time. Welcome back to another edition of Hometown Heroes on Family Life. I'm Mark Webster, and this week's guest is Dan Miller, a Southern Tier pastor who, along with his wife, Elaine, has been volunteering for many years with Wreaths Across America, a program that honors America's war dead by placing wreaths on the graves of service personnel in national cemeteries, including those in Elmira and Bath, New York. I'd like to start with your background. I know that this effort is very personal for you, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it until recently. We are sort of a military family. My father was in the Navy in World War II and the Korean War, called back in from the reserves. I was in the Navy during the Vietnam War and spent a year and a half in Vietnam. And our son has been almost 19 years in the Air Force and served a term of deployment in Iraq. And my wife's family has a lot of history as well. She lost a cousin in Vietnam and an uncle on the Bataan Death March in the Philippines, and another uncle was a prisoner of war in Europe. So there's a lot of military history in our family, so it is something that's very close to my heart.
My goodness. Well, we thank both of your families for all of the tremendous service to the country. How did you and your wife wind up getting involved in Wreaths Across America?
Well, it was a few years ago that we first found out about it. I do some volunteering at the Bath VA Center and found out it through them, and we decided to participate and invite our extended family to come along. And we went that first time several years ago, and it was cold, but we had a wonderful day. It was an opportunity to fulfill that mission of the Wreaths Across America, which is to remember, to honor, and to teach, to remember those who have served and who are now passed away, to honor those who are serving now, and to teach the next generation, to teach our children and grandchildren what it means to understand the cost of freedom.
A lesson that's always timely. This year's theme I saw is keep moving forward. Speak to that a little bit, if you might, what they're driving at there.
It seems like they're growing in terms of numbers. Last year, they placed in 5,000 locations over 3 million wreaths. Mm-hmm. And this year, they're having over 5,000 locations. And the goal is always to put a wreath on every grave. They're not reaching that goal, but that is their goal every year, is to place a wreath on every grave in every national cemetery. And there's going to be over 5,000 locations where the wreaths are placed this year. All 50 states and foreign cemeteries where Americans are buried. And also, if you can imagine this, they're going to be placing wreaths at sea for those who lost their lives at sea.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's an awful lot of wreaths. Where all those wreaths come from?
Well, they're all donated, and either one at a time or in groups. They're donated by individuals. Funds are donated by corporations. So I'm not a real expert on this, but one wreath can be donated for a cost of $17, and you can go in multiples of that as far as you want to go. The website that people can look at is wreathsacrossamerica.org. It all began in 1992 as a relatively small passion that a wreath maker in Maine had to see wreaths placed on veterans' graves in Arlington National Cemetery. And so they started with a small number, and then by 2007, they had become a really large organization, nonprofit, Wreaths Across America.
Well, it's got to be gratifying to you and the rest of those who volunteer every year to see how well this has grown. What feedback have you gotten over the years from families of those who are interred in our national cemeteries? It's got to be pretty meaningful to them.
Yeah, I do have one very good friend who I lost in Vietnam, and I know that I've been in touch with his family, and they are very much appreciative of all the volunteers and all the people who donate to make this possible, who donate their money and donate their time to go and place the wreaths. And then there's also a day in January when people come out again as volunteers and remove the wreaths that have been placed. There are truck drivers, trucking companies that deliver the wreaths to the cemeteries. It's quite an operation.
Walk us through it real quick. For somebody who's going to maybe volunteer for the first time this year, what can they expect if they go down to, say, the Bath National Cemetery?
The ceremony at the Bath Cemetery is going to be Saturday the 13th at 12 noon, and there's parking available, and they have shuttle buses that take people up into the actual cemetery. a ceremony at noon, and then immediately following the ceremony, people are given wreaths to go and place on graves. And they place a wreath on a grave. They say the name of the person who is buried there, and then some people actually give a salute, and others may give a brief prayer of gratitude for the service of that individual. So there's going to be a service at 12 o'clock at the Bath National Cemetery, another one at 9 o'clock that same morning at the Woodlawn Cemetery in Elmira. Those are the two that I'm familiar with. Like I say, over 5,000 locations where this is happening.
It's got to be very meaningful, not only to the families of the fallen, but to the volunteers to actually get up close and personal with that sacrifice this way.
It really is. You can see how meaningful it is for people as they place these wreaths and step back from the grave marker and spend just a few moments there in silence, again, saying the name of the individual and offering whatever thoughts they might, thanking them for their service, praying for them. It's very impressive just to watch people go around and do this. It's a very solemn situation, and yet people are having a lot of fun doing it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. My understanding is that you can sign up, I guess, ahead of time if you want to participate, but even if you don't, you can just kind of show up, right?
That's correct, Mark. You don't have to sign up. You can just show up. I recommend coming early enough to park down in the lower part of the medical center and then going up on a shuttle bus into the cemetery. And I also advise people to make sure they check the weather and dress according to the conditions.
Absolutely, this time of year, for sure.
In closing, placing these wreaths is a way of showing our gratitude for those who served and for those who have passed away and for those who are serving now. It teaches the next generation. It's a matter of showing gratitude, remembering and honoring. And the wreath, the wreath itself in its circular shape symbolizes God's eternal life, and it also reminds us of his love for us and of the love of those who have served our nation and made it possible for us to have and to maintain our freedoms over these almost 250 years of our history. It's a very valuable thing to participate in.
That's Dan Miller, a Southern Tier pastor who, along with his wife Elaine, has been volunteering for many years with Wreaths Across America, honoring America's fallen heroes every Christmas season by placing wreaths on the graves of service personnel in national cemeteries, including Woodlawn National Cemetery in Elmira, New York, and Bath National Cemetery in Bath, New York. Please join us again next time as we search for your home, your town, your hero. It's Hometown Heroes on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.